Imagine, for a moment, the desert, the shifting sands, the sweltering heat, the rising ash and shaking earth, a wasteland for many, filled with famine and fear. But imagine now a city in the dunes, sturdy as the rock, mobile as the sand, Marin, the eternal city, host to a royal line of sand mages, and a queen who is beautiful, a queen who is loved by all, and the queen who is sick. Now, it is said that the two Marinian princes... No, I cannot write this like a bystander. Me and my brother meant to save her. And so, imagine you were me, the runt elder brother, the failure. Ask yourself, where else could you turn? Where else but magic? You wake up in the bumpy carriage ride, blink bleary eyes to find your brother in front of you, looking at you. Not much longer now, he says, and you turn away to look upon the dunes as you pass them. You stretch out your hands, and the sand gains life, and animals made of sand dance in the dune. Then, you turn around, and the animals turn back to dust. You look to the back of the carriage, where your mother, the queen, lies frail and weak. You watch as your brother holds her hand, and you pray for her. Just a moment longer. Please, mother. Just a moment longer. We're almost there. And after a moment, there it lies, on the dust horizon, the pillar of life. You, your brother, and your mother make your way to the pillar. You bend the sand to your will, skating on the dunes like ice. And so it does not take long to reach the colossal stone piercing from dune to star. You could not even see its end. You and your brother went through endless tomes, scrolls, and artifacts to find this, your last hope of saving her. All right, he says, you know the runes, and you mark them in the sand. The rune of healing, the rune of protection, of guidance and comfort. But then you stop. Brother, are you sure of this? He stops too, and watches you. Do you love our mother? He asks you, and you nod. Of course, I did. Why wouldn't you fight for her? A tear forms on your cheek, and he softens. Look, Nico, listen to me. I know I'm being harsh with you, but trust me now. It'll all be over soon, brother. You nod, and then mark the other runes in the sand under the pillar. The rune of decay, the rune of the dead, the blood rune. After a moment, it is time. You and your brother stand on opposing sides of the runic circle. Your mother slumps in the center. The sands rumble in anticipation, and the pillar starts to shine a golden hue. Say the words with me, brother. You nod, and begin. From sand to sand, the earth quakes, and a whirlwind of sand surrounds you and your brother. You call upon the dune walker. The pillar glows like a descending star above you, and your brother nods. Dune walker, hear my call. Raise up the fallen sand before you and spare her life. The sand roars around you amidst the shaking earth, and then you see it. As you say the words, a figure of shifting mist descends from the height of the pillar. As it falls, heat, sweltering heat surrounds you, and sand whips you like an executioner. The dust quakes in awe of the god's presence. The dune walker, it looks upon you, then to your brother, stays there, as most do. And though it does not speak, it asks something of him. Then, he takes a moment, an eternity, and a tear falls down his cheek as he raises a finger right at you. What? Mal, what's... Your eyes go wide in shock as the god extends a hand toward you, and the blood in your body begins to move, rushing toward any exit it can find. Your eyes, your ears, your mouth, and rushes toward her, cleansing her, healing her. And as the light starts to go out, and you realize his betrayal, tears fall, but you smile, for at least now your brother can be whole again. I love you, you whisper, as you collapse. And when the sand takes you, the last sound you hear is... The sand is cool around your skin, You try to open your eyes. You can feel your time has almost come. You look toward the distance. You don't know how you're still conscious. Then, you hear it. First, a slithering in the distance. Then, a ravenous striding underneath the sand. Something is coming. And as you look upon the horizon with eyes halfway closed, you wonder if the people will mourn you, or perhaps sing songs of joy. The elder failure, unchosen by Dune Walker, unchosen by anyone. You breathe in, and it arrives, and looks upon you. A sandworm. You've heard myths of its radiance, hiding beneath the surface, but in person, words do not describe what it is in person. A fitting end, you think, a noble end, and it swallows you. Being swallowed is an unfortunate experience. Digestion will not make for the best of songs, you think. The acid in the stomach might also burn, but was being digested always this slow? And you feel something even stranger. It's like the liquid of the sandworm's stomach is flowing through you, like blood. It creates pathways through your skin and strides through it, and everywhere it goes, you feel strange. Imperfections are healed, bruises are forgotten. The blue tide reforges you. In the crystalline womb of the sandworm, you were reborn. Living in Marin is hard, but leaving the city is even harder, especially with all these guards chasing you. As you walk toward the city gates and you're disguised as a leper, people turn away from you and flee at the sight of you, and your mouth stretches into a grin, almost at the gates, almost there. Finally, you approach the checkpoint guard, and he looks down at you, then sneers. Papers? And as you hand them in, you make sure to cough on them with the full force of your sickness. You extend a hand, and he shakes his head. Just go on. You hear guards screaming. Close it down, they call. Lord Malachi's orders. You quickly shuffle past the checkpoint guard, and he yells, stop, but you run, and do not stop to see if he is chasing you. You don't stop for anything. As you run through the desert, away from the city and him, you frown, because you know the only place where he will not catch you is the most dangerous part in all the desert, the Dune Wild. No matter, you've braved harsher battles, this will not end you. And so, you go, and go, and go, and after months of travel, you finally arrive, the Dune Wild. It's every bit the hellscape you imagine. Sand striders and abyss walkers, you've managed to avoid them for now. But you know it's only a matter of time. That's why, as you sleep in the hollow cave you made for yourself, you frown when you hear the thump outside. A single thump, think a Dune Walker, but a thump nonetheless. You go outside to see what it is, and you come face to face with a man buried in a hollow layer of sand, as if encased in a womb. Your eyes go wide, and you get to digging. You wake up to water splashed on your face. Is this death? You feel so strange. And in front of you lies a young girl with dark hair and even darker eyes. She looks at you. Are you a madman or a fool? Your mind spins and you hold your head. What is that god-awful thumping? Do you hear that? You ask her. Okay, I have my answer, she replies. Do you know where you are? This is the Dune Wild. The most dangerous place in all the desert. People don't take naps here. And have you seen your eyes? They're the bluest thing I've ever seen. Bleeding sapphires. I just need a moment. What's the last thing you remember? And my mother. Wait, who rules Marin? She scoffs and pulls out a sword. Who are you? What do you know of Marin? You look at her. Frustration building up. Why isn't she answering you? Why his sword turns to sand? What? Her eyes go wide. Gods above, you're royal? I need to go. You stand up, remembering everything. Wait, she calls for you. I need your help. I've been looking for you. I left the city in search of you. You march out of the cave. Which way to Marin, you ask her. She points south. I need to talk to you, she says. Talk and walk, child. The sun beats down above you as you and the young girl, Laurel, march through the dunes. For Marin, he's a madman, she tells you. Lord Malachi, ever since you died. Lord, that's strange, not king? No, the queen still reigns. You stop. She does? She does. Laurel frowns. I do not know what it is that happened to her, but she has never been the same since. I do not know if we possess a word in our tongue for what she is. Know this, every month, Lord Malachi calls everyone and anyone of royal blood that he can find, and they enter a room with the queen, and though the queen comes out, they never do. You scowl. Mal, who has it become this? And that thumping, then you hear them, a rustling in the sand, a croaking in the heat, a figure in the mist. Sand striders, Laurel calls out, and you frown. You don't have time for this. I think we need to go. No more running. The army of sand striders lunge toward you, bearing fangs, but you take that spear and deflect them, parrying blows like the sand beneath your feet. You are changed. What once would have been a lethal battle is simple for you now. You glide through the striders like carving butter, king death wherever you go. Your eyes shine a radiant blue, and it's like you can see what they're going to do a second before they do it. You carve through them all, unyielding against the eternal tide of nightmares, unable to catch a breath, unable to think of anything but the essence of combat. But this is a dune wild, and the army is unending, and you're growing tired. Ah, that thumping. It's reached the breaking point now, and as a myriad beasts surround you, you reach into your mind, toward that thumping. What was that? You heard that? Me and all the dune wild. There it is again. The creatures stop. One thump is a mere coincidence. Three is time to go. And there it lies, on the horizon. We need to go, but you stay. Something in your heart, maybe your heart itself, is telling you to stay, and so you do. And when the worm arrives and swallows the army of monsters without even noticing them, and looks upon you, it takes you in and lowers its neck, as if bowing, and you take it in and step forward. You turn around and reach out to Laurel. Take my hand, girl. She pales in shock and takes it. Being king, no, that's not right. Being Lord of Marin is tiring. Every day, new petitions. Protect me, gift me, heal me, as if you were their god. Cure my failing leg, make the maiden love me. They can all rot, all but her, your mother, the queen. You look at the time. Today's the day of the offering. So as you walk down the castle walkways toward her room, the nearby guard regales you with tales of a rumbling from out near the dune wild. You scoff and laugh it off. No one survives there, you say. Don't bother me with such nonsense again. You enter the room and make eye contact with your mother, so beautiful. Her skin hangs off her shaking body, and teeth as long as the sand striders fall from her mouth. Her eyes are red, bloodshot, and she growls, hungry. Easy, mother. Worry not. The next reaping is arriving soon. You'll get your blood. She screeches at you, not understanding, but no matter. She doesn't need to do anything. Leave it to me, mother. These past years with her, they've been the best of your life. Mother is your best friend, the only one who loves you. Some might deem her wild and unnatural, but they could never know a mother's love. Where were they when you sought to end yourself? Nowhere. But mother is there. A mother's love is thicker than skin. It stretches through time, across lifelines and boundaries. A mother's love is a promise. I promise, mother. I promise, mother. You will be with me forever. You stare across the throne room at this month's reaping. You lounge on the throne made of stone. You count them, 8 people of royal blood. Finally, you nod to one of the guards, and he escorts the first one forward. Name, Leon, Vassal, parentage, of Adria. You nod, and the guard leads him away to the Queen's room. Asha, Ilaria, Aemon Giantbane, Dario Gregorio, Mentat the Wat, a final figure approaches, cloaked and barefoot, with sand beneath their feet. Who are you, nomad, you ask, and the voice answers, hello. You look upon the face of your daughter. Laurel? Where have you been? I've had the whole kingdom searching for you. Why? So you could feed me to her too? Don't believe the lies. He's here to feed you. To a monster. To my grandmother. Keep your voice down, child. I would never. Liar. Just come here. I think not. You scoff. Guards. Seize her. They move toward her. And then the door to the throne room opens. And sand drifts in. Wild. Untamed. And the desert wind follows it, along with a man. He looks toward you, and time stops. Brother? Hello, Mal. Nico, that's impossible. I saw you die, and here I stand. You look to your daughter. Can you see him? Or is this? I assure you, brother, this is real. A tear falls down your cheek. Brother, how I've missed you. You rush toward him, and embrace him. Strangely, he embraces you back. I do not begrudge you what you did, brother. I'm glad. You weep as he consoles you. You have good food and wine. Where is she? What? Where is mother? You stop. She's safe. The guards tense. You turn nervously towards her room, but you look away instantly. That something tells you that he saw that he saw you. He takes a step. Where are you going, Nico? Let's eat. Let's talk. After I kill her. Everyone stops. What did you say? I'm going to kill her, Mal. This torture you've done has gone on too long. You stop, look into his eyes. Is that pity? You regard Malachi, your younger brother, the king, on his strange stone throne, and you have pity on him. You step, but the guard close to you grabs your shoulder. His hand turns to sand, and he screams, Brother, I will not hurt you. But do not stop me in this. Be brave, brother. It is time. I can't let you do that. You stare at him. Cold fury. Will you stop me? The swords of all the guards turn to dust at your feet, and you look at him. Not me, he says. Then your blood drops, and you realize why this throne is made of stone. From sand to sand. The pillar, the stone of the throne room, is made from the pillar of life, which means the rumbling comes quickly, and the throne shines with incandescent flame. A flame you know well. The god comes then. Dune Walker. Mal looks at you. Familiar look. As the god turns to him, and he makes a silent request, pointing at you. You take a deep breath, and use sand to push Laurel and everyone else out of the throne room. It's you, your brother, and the god beside him. The Dune Walker looks down on you, and then you call upon the beating of your heart like a drum. The rumbling intensifies, and screams come from the lower city as a massive sandworm makes its way underneath them, tearing foundation and soil alike. It breaks through the castle floors and stands beside you. You face your brother and the Dune Walker, and mount the worm beside you. It does not have to be this way, you tell him. Mal turns away, and you look upon each other for a moment. An eternity, and sand takes flight. Tides of sand large as castle walls clash in the gales of your fury. The god of the dunes is a tall figure, and he commands the sand with unparalleled skill. But you were twice born, once in cowardice, and once in the worm's blood. Through it all, you've come to realize that yes, you are afraid. That has never left, but fear is the anvil of bravery. Your brother, good a man as he is blind to that, but you take hold of it. Fear can be the mind killer, but it can also free you. Take hold of that fear, let it fill you, consume you, then withstand it, and be brave. That is what she would want. Be brave, and as you leap off the sandworm and lunge through the air, you mold a lance of solid sand in your hand and thrust it toward the dune walker. And as the sand pierces through, you push with all your might and let it come out the other side. The dust settles, and you are alone with him. He raises his chin up. End me first, before her, please. You look upon him and turn away. Her room is dark and quiet. You walk for a moment. Then you hear her growling near the corner of the bed, and you take in the side of her, skin hanging off, bloodshot eyes. Here, mother. You reach out and embrace her, and as she bites into your neck, taking your blood, you pierce her through with the same spear, tears falling, heart beating, and you think to yourself, be brave. By the way, I started a Patreon. Please check it out for my scripts, or to simply support the channel so I can make more videos more frequently and at a higher quality. This story itself was voted on by the patrons, so please check it out when you get a chance. Also, join the Discord, we have fun there.